champ is here. I must be the greatest. The champ is here.
I'm going to continue to stand with the people.
The champ is here.
I will not lose.
I'm a bad man. I shook up the world.
Yes, welcome. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you are here with we. My name is EJ, and I got my man,
MH.
Yes, he's the DB of the show, and we are Black in Sports. Give it a voice of the culture that won't shut up and dribble. And here today, we're bringing you back inside the locker room, man. MH, man, ready to do this?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. So today, man, it's kind of a sad day, especially for you, right? Like, if those who follow and watch the show, definite, celebrated Knick fan you definitely always hold it down for your squad. And then you're definitely a really, really big Carmelo Anthony fan. All right. So, I don't know. Do we clap it up? Do we give a moment of silence, man? Do we just
It's so hard to say goodbye?
Yes, sir. But no, man. So he officially announced his retirement, man, and it's like he took a little bit of time to kind of do that. So, man, what's your thoughts on it, man?
Sad, man. Honestly, for real, like kind of sad. This is almost like this is for real. So I got, when something really impactful happens to you, you got to say like, I remember I was right here when this happened.
When this day happened, right. I remember where I was, right.
So me and wifey celebrate our anniversary recently.
Oh yeah, that's right. Congratulations. Absolutely.
So while we were traveling back to Las Vegas, I just scrolled on my phone and I saw something. I'm like, hold on, this can't be real. There's a site out there called Control Narrative, and it's all like a Melo site. So on Twitter, IG, I'm probably their number one follower, to be honest with you. It's all Melo content, and they posted it like even before I saw anything. But then they posted something from like Melo's channel, and it was that dope video that he put together. Just talking about his career and passing the torch on to his son, essentially. And I just sat there for a while and contemplated, man. I was like, man, like, first I'm like, dang, I'm for real old. Like, dang, Melo was like my guy, like for real. Like Melo started in Denver. I was still in Denver at the time. I was in high school when he was a rookie. I was a senior in high school. I went to go see his games a lot. I ran into him at a night scene. It's not like I'm not going to make it up like we was dapping up and he was like, yeah, Miles, come over here. Like he didn't know the nigga, but it's all good. Like he's still Melo. I saw, hey, Melo over there. Like, that's my guy. Right. And then obviously went to the Knicks, and everybody knows I'm a Knicks fan, and Melo's a big part of the reason why I'm like, yeah, I really like the Knicks now. Cause when he went over there, man, the shout out to the legendary man, Carmelo Anthony, and his legendary career, all-time great. Nobody be disrespectful. We will not have any Melo slander on this channel. And I'm glad I got this platform so I can rightfully honor my guy. 10-time All-Star, 2012-13 scoring champ, 6-time All-NBA, member of the NBA 75th anniversary team.
Say that shit.
2003, 2004 All-Rookie team, first team. Should have been a Rookie of the Year, but, everybody likes to be a LeBron fan, but should have been a Rookie of the Year. And the top 9, he's in top 10, actually number 9 all time in scoring in the league. He's one of the best to ever do it. No, he didn't get the NBA championship. Everybody say, he don't got a ring. Nah, he didn't team up with some all-stars to try to get a ring. He just held it down. He just held it down for himself, put the ball in the bucket better than everybody in NBA history outside about 8 people. Shout out to the legendary career of Carmelo Anthony, man. You all-time great, first ballot Hall of Fame, man. I will be at that Hall of Fame ceremony. I don't know how I'm gonna get there. EJ, work your magic. I need a ticket. I don't need to be at nobody's table. I just need to be in the building. Yeah, we'll be there, Carmelo. Shout out to the great one there, Carmelo Anthony.
Absolutely, there it is, man. So I mean, like we do when we prep for the shows and stuff like that. Retirement is just like a funny thing in sports, right? Because there's no right or wrong way to do it. And then like everybody has their kind of way of doing it. And we joked, we talked about Tom Brady, right? Like Is he
Yeah.
really retired this time, right?
I mean, I think by some paperwork, I think he kind of is. By with some things that he's acquired recently, I don't know how he comes back with these pieces that he's acquired
Because of the ownership part, right?
because of some ownership parts. So
So
I don't know if he technically can come back.
so that's the thing too, right? Like, well, he can go play in XFL, but that's a whole nother thing.
I mean, AB out there, he can go play for
Hey,
AB's team. AB
hey,
recruiting folks.
hey, AB own a team and play in a team, and
He
then get
playing on
kicked
the check and then writing those checks. He and he's a CFO. He was writing the checks.
And it's so funny because like you sent me that shit, and I'm like, why is this dude writing checks? Like he's just like real boss like, and then like it came so out of order.
Bro, no, the fact that he had that TI 83 calculator posted up next to him, like he's really doing the calculations.
Motherfucker had an abacus and shit. Motherfucker count. Like, man, you don't know what the fuck is going on, man. How he's gonna go from I got CTE to I own a team. Then, like the first video I really saw was him getting kicked out of his own thing. You remember that when the like security guard was kicking him out when he got fired?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but he the
And then
owner.
he the owner.
They said they weren't paying him, so he like, hold on, let me make this video. I'm actually doing the actual numbers myself.
Right. So y'all know. But yeah, so that's one of the things, right? Like, what do the players get into after, right? Like, there's just so many lines where, do they want to get into coaching, right? A lot of them want to get on the air, you're seeing that. And then ownership is becoming a part of that, right? Because, I mean, we're going to get to his name, but LeBron, like, wants to, be a part owner. And, your twin is a part owner in the league of the Jazz. So for those that are listening and not watching on our YouTube channel, MH does have some kin bloodline reference because he definitely looks like D-Wade. But anyway, the ownership part, right? So it's like, let's go back to Carmelo Anthony, man. Like he's already into like a lot of things. You think he's just going to really kind of go harder on those things, or has he kind of really announced and said what he's getting into?
Not officially, he has like all these dudes. I feel like they have some kind of production company. He's in tech as well.
The wine.
Obviously the wine industry. He has a whole hat brand. He does a lot of stuff in Puerto Rico as well.
Give it back.
Yep. He's obviously into the social justice piece. Doing a lot of advocacy in Baltimore and some other things that he's doing as well. So he's into a lot of things already. But there was one thing, I think he had a recent Sports Illustrated article where he was kind of talking about his retirement and different parts of his career. But one thing that he mentioned was like he was really trying to, talk to the league office in some ways about the real business part of what they're doing. And maybe he wants to be out to the league office and part of the PA and something, maybe not PA, but a part of the league office and their crew at some degrees. You see a guy like Troy Vincent in the NFL who's a senior VP and really the next man next to Roger Goodell. He goes anything from the expansion of football in Europe to whether somebody can play with a vine, right? All the above. He's it. So is that something that Carmelo Anthony wants to do? And there's a number of former players that are getting into that venture. So we'll see. And then above all, I think he also mentioned that article that he wanted to retire when his son was in high school, and just kind of support him to do the journal. So being a father, I think, seems to be really important for him as well, and some of that time that he missed as far as just in his NBA career. I think that he's kind of making that time up now and really pouring into his son, as his son is, I think, a sophomore right now in high school. So, man, I'm gonna miss him though.
No, that's dope. And like I said, I think it's great when you have legends in the game stay around the game, right? Because I think that's part of any kind of business or organization. Part that keeps it, you have to respect the historical content. Like he helped build the game, right? Like he's one of those dudes when you think about like in the game, right? Like there's just hands down. So it's good that they want to be a part of it. Like figure out how they can carve a lane and still be just be a part of the game. So I love to hear that.
Yeah, it'd be interesting because one of the knocks on Carmelo was like he never evolved his game into how the NBA like changed. He wasn't going to try to be the small four. He wasn't trying to do that. He wasn't trying to just shoot threes. He wanted to get his mid range. He wasn't trying to move the ball on some flow. I got to get to my jab series and the ISO. So it would be a really interesting part if he's into the league office in some ways and he's kind of spearheading some changes, however the league moves forward. But if he's spearheading change, and while he was playing, they say he was reluctant to change.
Right.
The irony, right? The irony in that. So we'll see.
And when we talk about this, it's growth too, right? Like, you go, just like his interview, he's like, hey, he's coming off the bench.
Yeah. It's like I come off the bench, Who, me?
Who, me? Me? So, it's all about that growth and evolution, man. So it's going to be good to see. But then I think when we talk about retirement, the other part is like the whole how people retire, right? Like, so, and I just went blank, but thinking about the whole Kobe, how like he had the farewell tour, right? Like who was attempting to do that, like, and that was, I think, something different because it really didn't have someone that says like, yo, after this season I'm going to retire, and then you like went to see because like, oh, this is the last time we're going to see him in the Garden. This is the last time we're going to see him against this matchup and that matchup. So, I mean, and I went to a game, like I had to go to a game. And of course, he just historical things in a lot of these games. So I think that was something new. And just to see that and it offered a new way to retire, right? Some people are forced out of the game and some people make their own history of how they want to buy out the game. And shit, he did it well.
It's interesting, and I'll let you lead into another individual that hinted at some stuff, but it was. I think that kind of showed how long Kobe just played. 2 decades to where he was the little brother of Shaq, and he evolutionized into the Black Mamba, and then he was just kind of like, hey, everybody's gonna give you your flowers, at the end, and see if you can still play. It's just kind of a weird how that progressed and how he got really old really quick. It seemed like you know what I mean? Like when he said it, then all of a sudden he was airballing 3-pointers. Like,
he wasn't the one with no Achilles shooting.
Then he couldn't
free throw. Yeah, man.
So we see he got his proper respect. I think Paul Pierce was a clown by Draymond Green. From that, hey, you're not gonna get this Kobe a farewell tour. You're not gonna get that tour. So he was on the Clippers at the time. So, you do that. And then, KG had his whole thing where he, went from Minnesota to Boston. And then after Boston, he went back to Minnesota and had kind of his farewell. And then you mentioned Tom Brady, who said, I'm done. And it got leaked out. And I said, hey, I'm going to play another year. Then he just, put the notes message up there and said, I'm done officially. Let me just put the notes from my phone. I'm just in the notes from my phone to say I'm done. So
I'm done. We'll and see. So there's a couple of like correlations in there, right? So now you have the Lakers got swept. Ouch.
Get them out. I'm coming home. I'm a Nuggets fan now. Yeah, I'm from Denver. I'm coming home.
Yo, repping. The Joker laughing all the way at these fools, man. But so after taking that's. I mean, you could just win one, nigga. Like that's, I know it's the 8 seed, and I know all of this stuff, but you couldn't win one. Like one, just give me one. Nope.
There's a lot to this that I kind of want to dive into. I'm gonna keep it as short as possible.
We talked about that, but hit it. Go.
So do we want to hit on LeBron now? I want to go too far. Go ahead and hit into LeBron.
Just because he hinted on it, right? Like, so he's like, oh man, I gotta reflect, and so yeah, let's get into it.
So LeBron is known for doing kind of cryptic things, and one can say, he's putting pressure on the Lakers front office to make some moves, and Kyrie Kyrie went to more games with the Lakers than he played. He missed a whole lot of games in regular, but he didn't miss no Lakers playoff games for some reason. He was on the front row every game, so. People can say like there's a lot of cryptic message to what he was saying. To me, this is just my opinion. I think LeBron James is done. Really? I think LeBron James is going to retire.
No.
There's
hold on, you heard it here first, people. But
this is what I think, bro. I've been wrong in a lot of takes this year of basketball, so take it with a grain of salt. But this is just kind of what I think.
What'd you say, Knicks and six?
I haven't been very accurate recently on my take, but this is from the heart.
Hey, that don't stop you. You still put that shit
Hey,
out.
you still got to put your takes out there,
put the
man.
takes
This is
out
what I
there.
believe. I'm a
Okay.
man of what I believe. I'm gonna do what I believe. So, there's a difference in watching the game and watching the game.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
So
about that.
I was really watching this series with the Lakers, and was really interesting to me. There was a couple games. I think game 2 really. We'll get to game 2. LeBron James was putting out a lot of energy. I'm talking about like old school LeBron, running fast, running over people,
Running down
diving on the floor.
and-
He missed the dunk there. You know, he tried to do his dunk and kind of lost the ball.
Lost
Like
the
a
ball.
lot of little things. Like he was just running really, really fast. And I said, dang, he's losing a lot of energy. They're only up by 2 points or 5 points at halftime. I don't know if this looks good. So they end up losing that game, right? Then game 4, he has 31 or something in the first half, and he's only missed 2 shots. He's made all his free throws. He's made all his 3-pointers. They up 10-12, and then as soon as the third quarter hit, Bron tired. Nuggets come right back. They end up losing. There's a moment where I think greats, and this only applies to greats, right? The LeBron Jameses, the Michael Jordans, the Kobe's, right? Where they don't, and disrespect to Carmelo Anthony, they're not going to come off the bench. They won't be on any team that they're ever on. They're not going to be the secondary guy. The game is going to revolve around them, whether they all-time great in their prime or whether they just old. It doesn't matter who he's playing with.
Okay.
The game is going to revolve around LeBron James because that's LeBron James. He's the all-time leading scorer in the NBA. So he's going to be the magnet, right? He's going to be the sun, and the planets are going to revolve around him. Don't matter who the planets are, right? Giannis, Jokic, everything. It's going to revolve around LeBron James. Yes. So when LeBron James is spending that much energy, and you can say, oh, he don't have no help. But when LeBron James put forth that energy, LeBron James is winning something, at least a game, right?
Right.
You got to say LeBron James is winning the game just because that. When you lose that and LeBron James notice, like, yo, I can't just be Superman and just get me at least one win.
Right.
At least one. The end is near. Then his homeboys retiring the same day. His son going to prom with no shirt on. Like, the end is near.
Aligned, right?
Yeah, the end is near. And I think, in a way, LeBron James is retired. And this is why. Here, picture this.
All right.
LeBron James is, I guess you could call his lowest off the court moment, probably what people would say his most controversial was the decision, right?
Correct.
Right? Where he did the decision, they said that. Hey, this is how you flip the decision. You do the same thing, and your decision is your retirement. You can do it on day 1 of the NFL if you want to, right? LeBron James can big stage anything. That's LeBron James.
Cameras.
Hey, I'm out of here, bro. It's been good. He don't have to do what Kobe did with the farewell tour, because LeBron James is polarizer. So they'll say, oh, you just trying to do what Kobe did. Right. Nah, I'm King James. I'm the all-time leading scorer. I'm just done. Now what, NBA? What? And then I'm gonna own the team. He'll be around, but I think he's done.
So you think he's done? Wow.
I think I think we've seen the last of LeBron James.
I don't know. I don't
playing.
Well. So does he come back? So does he do the Michael Jordan? And he come back?
I've heard that theory.
Because
that's another part of the reason why he's going to retire.
We heard he wanted to play with his son. So
that sounds cool, man. There's a lot of things. I mean, it does. It really sounds. It sounds dope as hell, right?
That sounds
at a certain point. At a certain point,
that's like when someone's telling you their dreams and shit. Like, you know what, man? I want to. And then you hit him with, nigga. That sounds cool.
That's cool, man. That's cool. Let's get back to reality. That sounds dope. It really does. It really sounds really cool. But let's think about this. LeBron James is a father, right?
Yes.
At some point, you want to see your son shine. You don't want to outshine your son. It's different from King Griffey Sr. to King Griffey Jr. It's real different. King Griffey Jr. was the man. King Griffey Sr. was a really, really good player, all-star level player. But he wasn't he wasn't King Griffey Jr. Bronny James won't be LeBron James. LeBron James is, if not the best ever, one of the 2 or the 3. He's in the discussion for the 5 names you mentioned with the NBA. So there's no surpassing LeBron James, right? You're not surpassing him. So whether Bronny James is number 1 overall, number 2 overall, or just a G League player, it doesn't really matter. LeBron James is going to overshadow him. And do you want to do that to your son on that part of his platform? Maybe you do. I don't think so.
So maybe he's come to that realization, right? Like that sounds cool as you
It sounds real cool,
put it,
dog.
but then he's like, well, maybe I do need to make space and let my sons
Make
kind of
space. That's a good,
make
yeah.
space. You know what I mean? So that's a great look at it. But then he's the face, right? Because we talk about this. Like we did an episode on growing the game, right? And we've also
Yeah.
talked about like who is the face of the NBA if LeBron leaves. So there's going to be a real big discussion. Like Adam's like, yo, hey, bro, everything cool, man?
Everything. Hey, cool. I'm just doing
Hey,
a wellness check. Yeah, I didn't.
You didn't let me
You
know.
didn't sound
I
great.
wasn't
You didn't sound like
prepared.
yourself. You didn't sound like Brown in the press conference. Everything.
He's like,
good?
hey, Adam's like, you know what I'm working with, man. I got this one guy, man. He's carrying guns. I got other
Demetrius.
guy.
They don't even call him John no more. They call him by his government. Demetrius, whatever his name is.
I got this other guy. We got him on Weight Watchers, man. Like I just, Giannis got kicked out the first round, like of the playoffs. We're not ready for this yet. So I don't know, man. I think there's gonna be a lot of discussion. I'm more with the first statement you said about the manipulation part, right? Like I really think it's that, man. I don't think that. I don't know.
We don't want LeBron James retired. Let's be real.
That's
LeBron James has kept a lot of careers alive, right?
Correct.
From Skip Bayless to Brian Windhorst to he's kept Stephen A. around as relevant as long. Like a lot of stuff revolves around LeBron James.
Correct. And that's the thing. Like he's the A block of like they talk more about LeBron James and Lakers more than they talked about like Denver going on and what's 100%.
Going on. And Denver has the best player in the NBA right now. Well, I think Giannis is good, but like Jokic is probably the best player in the NBA, or if not
and
one.
He's doing it right now. Like oh, you don't want to give me the MVP because what critics thinks because it'll be the third time no one ever do it. Okay, let me go ahead and get this championship because I think he's going to get it. Like even if it's Heat or Boston, I just don't know who knocks him off of the trajectory where the hell they're heading. But all right, getting back to the retirement, man. So the little rumor mill also talked about what if he goes to the Warriors. Silence. So that was kind of Colin Cowherd put that kind of theory out. And just said, you seen Draymond and him always huggy and talking to each other.
Yeah, Draymond don't matter. He won't be on the team. LeBron there. You
don't think so?
He could be on the team, I guess.
He'd be on the team. Come on, they love Draymond. But anyway, so yeah, that was something to put out. What is your kind of senses tell you on him doing that? One, I think that would be a terrible move for him, like because
I agree. For a lot of different reasons, but
so many, I mean, they already tell him like he's jumping teams for him to go up there and do that with them. That would be, but don't forget that was talks 2 years ago.
Yeah,
before the bubble that they were talking about like him or Stephen Curry and them like partnering up some way or somehow. So it's not too far fetched, but I do not think it'd be a good move though.
I don't either, and I might have to retract my statement just from 2 minutes ago because that is the one planet there in Steph Curry that I do think like he can still hold his own. I still think LeBron James is the son with everything, but Steph Curry might be what's the closest planet? Mercury.
Well, didn't they say Pluto doesn't exist?
Yeah, he ain't Pluto. We'll put it that way.
We can't figure that shit out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, but Stevin's like an ankle. Boy, his ankles, man. Like what that give you what they call it, a gap year when you take time off of life and go find yourself. Like if LeBron retired, Stephen would be the gap year for them to figure out who would be the face. And like unless Victor Wimby Wimby. If he comes and he becomes the next great hope and hype, I mean, that's the only thing. But then you're talking about the face of the game being international, which we talked about, like what does that look like for the league too? So
Gilbert Arenas had a theory on this in a recent talk with JJ Redick. And I kind of understand what he's kind of saying a little bit. It may be different because the league is so focused on stars, but basically what he was saying is like the league's motto is you have your big markets are really good, like your good teams, and
Mhm.
particularly your historic teams that have been good for a long time. So that's the Lakers and the Celtics.
Yeah.
If they're good, we're solid. If they got good players, we're solid. Lakers always get somebody. The Celtics seem to be like, good for the last at least 10 to 15 years. They've been pretty, competitive in that
Yeah.
situation, right? So you
Mhm.
got those two. And then he said when Jordan was there, you had the Bulls who were in the next biggest market, but the Bulls took that thing. Chicago was replaced by Golden State because obviously the Bay Area and everything that goes with them is a big market. So now you still have the Lakers with LeBron on them. You have the Celtics, and then you have the Golden State that Steph is carrying that market. So the league is getting good shape, right?
Right.
But if you lose out LeBron, the Lakers won't be down for too long. They'll get somebody to compete because that's just how they do.
Mhm.
You got to keep Golden State around, and the Celtics are still relevant. So basically, what he was saying, the league is in trouble if the Lakers are down and their biggest star is not with the Lakers, obviously, and is gone, and it's not in one of those markets, then the league is in trouble. I agree to some degree.
Okay.
Because we've talked about this, how these markets works and who the face is, and the league might go through those gap years when it was Tim Duncan winning in random New Jersey Nets, in the early 2000s. And
Right.
so we may go through that here soon, but we'll see. We'll see what they do. Maybe Wemby is that guy. Maybe Jokic doesn't seem to be that charismatic person. Giannis seems to be pretty charismatic, but he's kind of stuck in Milwaukee, so we got to kind of move him out of there. You know who the betting odds are, though, if LeBron comes back?
What do you think?
Who you play with next year? Who's leading the betting odds right now?
Hold on. Where am I?
If LeBron comes back, I already think he's retiring, but say he comes back, he's playing on a team next year. You know who the betting odds are?
No, it's the Warriors. What do you think? I have no idea.
I give you one guess.
I have no idea. That's my guess.
The Knicks, Madison Square Garden.
I can't stop the show.
I mean, if you want to keep playing, you can just go over there, brother. I mean, people know stuff that I don't. I don't know.
No, he's not.
This is where I just saw a poll. That's all I saw, man. I'm just saw.
And
I'll source it for us.
A poll. Was it a Knicks?
I mean, anybody's a blue check on Twitter now, so you can pay for your blue check. What is a blue check?
You said it's verified, but how did they pay for that verification? I can't believe we wasted 45 seconds on that. Like, you had me intrigued. Like, oh,
no, seriously,
no,
I think
not
they're
seriously.
like high up.
No,
we'll source it.
Let's source it. Because look, why is he going to go there? And he did the whole thing for his son. You just talked about him being a father, which we're seeing a lot of these people. Like, I mean, yeah, he could do private jets and he can get back and forth, but like that East Coast, West Coast travel for him being old and shit like that, that's dead. Do you know what I mean? For him to come see his son, I don't know. Man, let's get off this topic.
You said it. You said it better than I did. Hey, make space for your son, bro. I'm gonna get out of LA, bro. You got this. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna go to the East Coast for a little bit. You got it, son.
MH with the hot takes today. You're on fire with the hot takes, but I can't wait till we clip these. All right, so rounding out this topic, man. It just we've hit on this I mean a few times in a few different episodes, right? But the WNBA, right? 144, man. They did a series on 144. That's just the number of girls that are with the number of teams, the roster spots. And we talk about them staying on too long. Like, Sue just retired last year, and then we saw so many ladies get cut this year, like didn't make the teams. And we're talking about first round overall draft picks from a year or two ago, and then just other notable players not making it. And I kind of preface that just about like staying too long is like, is there anybody that you thought that just stayed way too long? Or like you've seen them and it's like, yo, man, just you go ahead and retire, man. It's all bad. Any sport. Is there anybody
the W or just any sport?
Any sport.
I have one now that's in a sport that I'm not quite sure what he does, but he's getting checked. So I'm not mad at him.
And I think I know where you're headed with this.
Udonis Haslem. Bro. My man got a check in the playoffs for what?
A
You not.
check.
I don't know if
Not
you're
a-
on the team.
He's
I
on
don't
the
know if you're
bench.
playing.
Is he?
I don't know if you're a coach.
Is he officially a player coach? Like,
I guess this was his last year because he came out the last game of the season. Regular, they threw him a lob and he was shooting threes and he was in his bag. But
so did you hear the chants game 3 when they were blowing the fuck out?
no,
And they were like, put it awesome. I was like, at first I was like, what the hell are they saying? And because they were blowing them out, they were saying, put this dude in for minutes. And I'm like, and then the camera panned on him. And I was just like, and it, like you said, remind me, like, this nigga's getting a check.
he's still getting checks, bro. I would definitely say he's number one. I'm trying to think of somebody in football.
And that's the thing, right? Because I don't even think you can have that in football, right? Because football is not a friendly game. Football takes you out. You can't
It
be
does take you out.
you can't be off in that game in not many positions, right? Because like if you like even you think like on the line, right? Like what do you can't be in front of Aaron Donald and be a
True.
step slow, right?
True.
Like so that's what I was thinking about football. Then one came to mind. I was like, well, what about like George Foreman, right? Like or just boxers in general, right?
Yeah.
Because like they'll still come and they'll stand in the ring, but like that's their motor skills. And I was like, well, shit, but George Foreman did come back and win the title sloppy,
He did.
but
He did.
and then
'Cause I was
starts
thinking
playing Foreman
Peyton
drills.
Manning, but like
Then he won
Peyton
a Super
Manning,
Bowl.
yeah, he won a Super Bowl in his last game. I would think, I guess, with football, when you see like greats like Emmitt Smith that are just randomly with the Cardinals, or
Now that like I hated to see that. Like when you have a story franchise, with the America's team, and you just kind of have like that whole tenure, and then
yeah, it's
like
like,
I don't want to see like in your Wikipedia.
oh, you did play for the
Oh,
Cardinals, like
oh,
like
you did a season with the Browns? Like, oh, I don't even remember. Like, no, man,
yeah,
Jerry Rice, right? I mean, because he kind
yeah.
of had that stint where he Brett Favre kind of did it.
Yeah, I mean, T.O. just stopped running routes, and he's like 50. Like he's literally like last week stopped running routes,
and will
saying he
tell
can
you that
play.
he could go out there and play today.
Yeah, I just want T.O. stop, bro. Like, matter of fact, I think was it AB that's recruit? No, he played in one of these arena leagues, didn't he? With like
He played
Johnny
in that
Manziel or something.
fan control league thingy or whatever.
Can't
That
give
like
it up, man.
Marshawn Lynch and what's her name from yeah. So he's still out there, man. Out there running against horses and shit, man. You just need to leave the fuck alone.
He's my second choice. T.O. go away, man.
Well, sometimes, man, change reinvigorate some of these people, right? So like Aaron Rodgers was the last one that was just kind of teetering, right? So we had all kind of different
He's still
people.
teetering. He hurt himself. You already see he hurt his calf.
His calf in non-contact, like he warming up, man. He's like, yo, I usually don't do these OTAs, man. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. Pulled his calf and like, all right, I'm gonna go sit down. I'm gonna go sit down for a minute.
Correct.
But yeah, so like we've had like so just kind of happening all we have all kind of different retirements, man. And he's putting on a different persona though now that he's in New York, right? So it's funny, kind of looking clean shaven now and more upbeat, but like we'll see how long that lasts when he takes that first hit and the talent they put around him. So it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I mean, I would think there's more media outlets, and I mean, this is Green Bay, and he's it's a Green Bay Packers, so one of the premier franchises in the NFL. But I think there's a slightly bigger market in New York than with the Jets. So one or two bad games, and the back page of all those news papers, and Stephen A. Smith, and all them people crying about it every 2 seconds. Yeah, I think he might have a change in opinion. He might be hitting up LeBron like. Or Melo, who did y'all production? Melo, I like how you did your video. Who
can you help me?
Can you link? Yeah, just DM me their info. I think I'm about to put my video out.
All right, man. Last thing I wanted to hit on is just kind of the retirement jersey portion of it, right? Like how like special of a moment that is. Have you ever been to like one of those like ceremonies? Did you ever get to see? Because like when they when they lift that jersey. Is that another thing you want to go see too? When they lift the jersey in the rise or something
There
like
should
that?
be multiple locations, so I should be able to see that in MSG, and then the Nuggets Ball Arena. We need to be able to do that. Hey, I know Jokic got 15. It's good. You can retire his 15 later, but we need to be retiring Melo's too. So, no, I haven't been to one, but Melo might be one that I need to go to. Yeah, I'm there.
Because it's definitely a moment, right? Like, especially, and we talk about this too, right? Leaving the game, right? Like, you do all of this work to get past it. And I can only imagine, like, you go back into the arena and then all that shine is just back on you as they're kind of thanking you. They put some kind of like little film montage together. You know, they get some old ass, you know, someone that's from the team or something to come, you know, welcome you. Because there's been different ones. Like, I'm trying to think of they've done a couple rocking chairs, right, where they kind of bring the rocket chair out for the people. Then they're just kind of putting it. That's disrespectful, but just all kind of different stuff, man.
It is, and I think Allen Iverson's was probably the most recent. Like, it wasn't that recent, but it was one of the ones that sticks out in my mind about how emotional he was about that and what he meant to the city. So, yeah, we'll see. And another part of that, you know, the second phase. They took it to another level when they retired 2 numbers for Kobe. You know, Pau Gasol recently at the Lakers game was wearing his leather coat with his name in, like, your name's in the rafters, brother. You don't necessarily have to work. We know who you are,
right?
Your jersey's up there. So we'll see. And I think the next level is the statues, right? You know, you go outside of crypto, there's all kinds of statues out there. So who's gonna get that next statue? How many statues does LeBron get? You know, so.
And right, does the city of Cleveland ever build him a statue? Right, bringing the title there.
Whatever that building is, they put that sheet of notebook paper on all the time. They always changing it. Yeah, you go ahead and make that a statue in front of there.
And then, because I mean, WNBA only Asia has a statue back at South Carolina where she went to school. I'm trying to think. There's like, Lakers are probably the biggest arena because, like, I'm thinking about just kind of going around. Baseball probably has baseball stadiums. A lot
I heard
of them
the Yankees have
several, a couple, right?
As well. Yeah.
So I mean, that's next level to get a statue, boy. So it's gonna be interesting to see.
There's a few out there.
Well, Rocky got a statue, which
come on, Philly.
Come on, Philly.
Philly, I know we have a lot of listeners that's from Philly, so I'm not going to be disrespectful. But as great as that city is, we just can't be putting Power Rangers up there, and that just be like, this dude not even a real person, right? Come on, man.
Y'all have a fictitious fucking statue of a person.
Space Jam up there, man. Come on, man.
Oh, Lola and Bugs Bunny up there. All right, man. Last one I got for you, man. How would you want your high school or college to put your jersey in Raptor? Like, how would you do it? How would you want your ceremony, man? Like, talk to me about that.
I'm gonna go to high school because in college, we had a lot of L's. Yeah, they would have. My montage would have been like, you know, I would have had a couple plays, but then they would have been like, you know, you see the score in the background. It's like, dang, that was a nice play, but it's 46-6. Like, you know, so you probably couldn't do
that speech would be a lot of like, you know, it taught me a lot of adversity and overcoming adversity.
Yeah, that's that part of the speech. That's that part of that's that part of the video. Bumps and bruises, the aches and pains. That's so.
Let's take it to high school. Let's
go back to high school. So I'm going to brag a little bit. I'm at to post this, but I'm on the Wall of Fame there. You know, I got a little picture there on the Wall of Fame when I was. I'm not in the Hall of Fame, but you know, I made an All League and you know some All State stuff. So like, yeah, I was there. The way that I want them to retire me, man. I used to my senior year, and my homeboys that's listening to this, they can attest to this. We had this little we had this little commitment club, like I don't know what this vest was, but it was basically wool. But I used to wear it all the time over my jersey all the time. Like I called it a mink coat all the time. So whatever it is, take me to the Stella Bowl. Yeah. Take me to the Stella Bowl, get my mink.
Okay.
Right? Retire my mink next to my jersey. Hang that up somewhere in those Raptors and Steelers bowl. My mink and my jersey. Now, I don't need 2 numbers. Just my number 9 and my mink hung up next to each other. That's a good ass question. What would be yours, brother?
Oh man, I would think I would definitely want it to be like a reunion type thing, right? You know what I'm saying? Because football is that ultimate team sport, man. So just kind of to come back and probably hopefully like recap like a top kind of moment, and like that would be the celebration. Now, what sucks is like I would like my locker like to be permanent. Like, yo, this is my locker, kind of like.
Has a lot of that has a different connotation to it too, right? They do that for the fallen soldiers, right? I don't.
Now you bring that point up, you know what I mean? But then, I would like a spot in the cafeteria, you know what I mean? Just like some kind of like location, because they're like kind of like that vest. There were spots that you always hung like between class, and was spots you were at that your ass shouldn't have been because you're supposed to be in class. Like just some kind of spot. And the only thing that sucks about all of this is because those bastards built a brand new fucking high school right after I left. So it's not as, you know what I mean? But like
there's a table in there that they've kept.
They kept, right? Like
there's some desk chairs in there that they haven't kept in the building. They just do that.
They have to do that somewhere, right? So that would be something that like I'd like to curate if I were to do that, man.
I always want to know, because like I know in every high school they'll say like this was dedicated to by the class of like 83, and it'd be like a bench on the theme. Like where was the ceremony? Because I missed those whole ceremonies in high school. I don't know what we don't. The class of 2004. I don't know what we donated.
That's a good point. Like I have no idea what our damn class gave to the, That's good shit, man. All right, man. But no, man, retirement, man. It's like it's definitely one of those emotional things, man. It's a time to like to reflect and see what but it's definitely sad when you lose kind of greats in the game, man. So, anything else, MH, for the people?
Nah. While I have this platform, man, shout out to the GOAT Carmelo Anthony himself. Number 7, number 15, 00 infinity, man. Salute on a great career, Carmelo.
There it is, man. Well, hey, we hope you enjoyed this show, man. Think about some of the retired people that we missed. Who do you think was someone that stayed in the game too long? We definitely love to hear that in the comments and the notes. Please, man, thank you for checking us out. New shows drop every Thursday. So please subscribe to our YouTube because visual representation matters. And remember, please stay safe, practice gratitude, and know we're rooting for you.
Screaming, all us blacks got is sports and entertainment until we even.
Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Yeah. Yeah. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Look. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Spent about 2 racks on handmade new rags. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. That's everybody from sports to college class to rap and back.